Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CARTERMATT.com. And Coco Chanel. Yes, she's joining us.
And, well, it's only fitting because there's a dog act in this episode and she can get very jealous by all the dogs. But we are talking episode 3 of America's Got Talent, The Champions. And, you know, I feel like AGT Champions really hit a high when it comes to great performances kind of across the board last week.
Yep, and in the first episode as well.
I think tonight we sort of regressed a little bit overall. There are some really good acts in this episode, but there were also some that I think in a week or two I'm just going to be like, oh, I don't really remember all that much. Like, I think there was a very slow start outside of Alexa kind of early on in this episode.
Yeah, there was some, it's hard to go from those first 2 episodes where there were so many people and that I was so excited about, and then you get to these finals where it's like, oh, there's these 3 people and I want all of these teams or all these people to go through. That wasn't happening to me tonight.
No, I think it was a little bit more cut and dry. A couple of contentious decisions maybe at the very end, but before we dive into it, if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. I think we should start with, what is the obvious best act of the night, and it's not really even close that Unbeatable is better than everyone.
No, I watched a guy parkour on someone else's chest tonight. They're so good. It's really incredible. Their performance tonight, it just smoked everybody. It was not close.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think it was necessarily a line so that they would just destroy everyone, but I feel like the producers probably knew they were going to do all right with this competition. They were going to make it to the next round. I mean, getting a golden buzzer wasn't a guarantee, but I feel like on some level, Howie was probably just like, you know, you guys should have finished at least in the top 2 of your season.
Agreed.
So you were just on, go through to the finale, and that's fine. I mean, I would have loved to have had another Unbeatable performance, but I think they're going to bring one of the craziest things they've ever done on the show to the finale.
They've done some of the craziest stuff tonight that I've ever seen, watching them jump through that big square. Like I said, somebody parkoured off somebody's chest. There was just some stuff I don't know how that's even possible for a human to do some of the stuff that they're doing. It's just wild.
And it's like the combination of everything. It's not like they're just good dancers, but they're good acrobats. Their timing is impeccable. They're like super athletic, and
their energy is incredible.
Yeah.
They keep into character the entire time they're dancing. They are really incredible. They deserve that golden buzzer. I'm really glad that they got it.
Yeah, I'm glad they got it. I'm glad we didn't have to deal with any drama about them. I know we've talked a little bit about how Angelina could potentially win. We talked about Marcelito could potentially win.
I love Marcelito.
I know, and I think Unbeatable has to be up there with them now. I think they have a very, very good chance. It'd be kind of interesting if they won, because it would be like the second straight winner where they came from the most recent season of America's Got Talent, because Shin Lim was kind of the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's get into then everyone else, because it's like, oh yeah, of course, Unbeatable was amazing. I don't think anyone is shocked by this development.
But it's exactly almost like what you said. Mm-hmm. There's Unbeatable, and then there's everyone else. And I hate saying it that way, but that's sort of what it felt like this episode. There were a couple of people that were also standouts to me, but Unbeatable is just in its own lane. But if we have to talk about somebody, I want to talk about Quickstyle, because that was somebody that took a chance tonight.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate dance groups or this trio, people that are doing dances that will take a chance. Because with a name like Quickstyle, you expect it to be really fast, really crazy, like crazy music, doing almost like Unbeatable. But they slowed it down, and they were still, I really liked them. I was really kind of surprised that they didn't go through.
I think the biggest problem is that a lot of the judges on America's Got Talent do not understand dance and do not understand the difficulty of things.
It was weird watching how he's sort of just sitting there with his arms crossed. I was like, great song, like very cool moves. Like it just felt like a nice flow, what they were doing.
Yeah.
I like them.
The timing of this, because of that tempo, was so hard because every mistake they would make would be like that much more evident. And, you know, because Alicia has a background in dance, I think she's able to sort of recognize, oh, this is really, really good, and this is an act that's worthy of at least having an opportunity to move on. I mean, I think it's difficult when you think about who ends up going through. I mean, should Quickstyle have taken the place of someone else? It's like I still go back and forth on it a little bit because, you know, you think about Alexa, and that is just such a, you know, joyful and unique sort of act, and you're not really seeing that anywhere else.
It's true, and we love dogs, so I mean, it's hard to say no to a really good dog act. And
Yeah.
you know, Duo Destiny, they also advanced, and they had a really beautiful act tonight too.
Yeah.
So it's hard though because Duo Destiny feels a little bit like other stuff that I've seen, and it doesn't take away from what they're doing or some of the acrobats that they're doing. They are quite good, but it is stuff that I've seen.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why when I'm talking about Quickstyle, the fact that they're doing dancing, and we've seen lots of dancing, that they took that chance to slow it down was something that I really appreciated.
Yeah, to me, I would have probably put Quickstyle in over Duo Destiny, and it's hard because it's like apples and oranges because I think both of them are really good at what they do.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of like you sort of alluded to, Duo Transcend was just on AGT Champions not that long ago.
Yep.
And I think they were maybe a little bit better than Duo Destiny, and I'm just sort of thinking, how can we diversify the competition as much as possible moving forward? Like, who are the acts who you put them on, they're going to add something that you're not getting otherwise. And I will say the same thing about, you know, Tyler Butler-Figueroa, who ends up moving forward. And I found myself in a weird place in kind of the end of AGT because I think he's brilliant for his age and what he's gone through.
Yep.
But then it's also like, okay, would we, you know, if a more accomplished violinist who was like 5 or 10 years older and didn't have the backstory, would they be as popular? I don't know, but at the same time, you know, talent is about becoming attached to people, and it's so easy to get attached to him and just be compelled by him that it makes everything that he does, like, so much better.
I agree. I do think that his story is part of it, but then we look at someone like Michael Grimm, and I know he didn't go through tonight, but story again is part of it, and feeling that connection with somebody. So with Tyler, it makes sense that story is going to help push him through on top of his talent. And I thought his performance tonight was good. It didn't blow my socks off, but it was good.
Yeah, I think it was good. I think the problem with Tyler, and this is not really fair to Tyler, is I inevitably compare him at times to Brian King Joseph, who I think is a stronger violinist overall, but Brian's also older. Brian's also been doing it a longer period of time.
That's
and
true.
Those sort of things, they do contribute, but I think Tyler, his story and just him having the enthusiasm and the passion, I'm not mad about him moving forward at all.
No, Tyler is someone who is very easy to root for.
Yeah.
He's talented, he's got a great story, he's just such a likable person. He's a package, he's a whole package that is easy to root for.
Let's talk about a couple of the acts that I am kind of disappointed by in this episode because I've loved them in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Hart, who was on Britain's Got Talent, and there is a part of me, not a happy part of me, but a part of me that blames him and X splitting the votes for X not winning his season of the show. Ben was a good magician on Britain's Got Talent, and I actually think the trick he did in the episode tonight, I think it was unique, and I think it was innovative, but I think he did a really bad job selling it. And you don't want the judges leaving your performance being just like, oh, or like not understanding when it's over.
Was that the end? And him making the joke of being like, I should have been like, and I'm Ben, kind of thing. Like, yeah. I mean, it's also hard, like what he said, to have the start of his act where he is holding up something that's so small that nobody can see it. Like it was. It was difficult.
This was a performance, I think, if you know, going to the Magic Castle, or you're going to like a, you know, 100-seat venue or something like that, this probably kills there. But this is America's Got Talent. It's such a big stage, and I mean, I applaud him for being creative and for trying something. It just didn't work, and I know Ben is good, and that's why I'm bummed out about it.
No, this felt like this was a performance for a very intimate audience.
Yeah, it did. It didn't work, and I mean,
it was too small for the stage. It was too small for the audience.
But I mean, I think Ben will be just fine. It's just a bummer that his big AGT debut doesn't happen like it should. Freckled Sky. They were a golden buzzer from Howard Stern way back when Howard was a judge. I remember sort of being blown away by them at that point and being like, oh, this is so cool. But I think a part of the problem now is I've seen, since they were last on, so many other dancers who are kind of using like the visual stuff. It's kind of like once you see people evolve it and do other things with it, it's hard to go back to like that feeling of wonderment you once had.
Yeah, and it's almost like with singers. We've seen a million singers on a million shows cover the same songs over and over again. And then you have someone like Angelina show up and sing Bohemian Rhapsody in a way that you have never heard before and strip that song down. It's a song everyone's heard a million times, and we've never heard it like that. Yeah. So now that we do have a lot more of acts like Freckled Sky that are using these different like projections and dancing and all that sort of stuff, you have to be like that. You have to bring in a story that feels very... very unique, that's not just sort of like love being ripped away or whatever. Like, those are the same types of things that we've already seen.
Let's go into now I believe one of the acts you very much enjoyed, and this was Miki Dark at the kind of near the end here.
I just love these sort of danger acts, and that makes everybody feel really tense, like something is going wrong. And a lot of my sort of danger acts this season have not been doing very well. They're all getting eliminated, or, you know, things are not working, crossbows aren't going off, everything is just kind of going into a dumpster fire. Yeah. I think Miki did a great job tonight. He brought this fear that I felt while I was watching it. I felt everyone there feeling the fear, and I like that. It was cool.
He's a weird dude. He almost felt like if Bane and the Joker were put into a blender and then like made into a person, it would be this guy. Yes. Like, I just imagine him just walking around to people on the street and just being like, "Rrr, rrr."
Well, if you're gonna be a person who's gonna throw knives at people, I think you need to kind of have that sort of persona like Miki does.
I have no real idea what's going on with this character he's devised. I didn't understand a weird video message at the start of it, but I was in. I was very much compelled.
I think they're just trying to build up the creepiness.
Yeah, I feel like that is the case. It was a fun act. I mean, I would have been entertained if Miki Dark went forward. I'm not saying necessarily should have, but I enjoyed it.
I'm not here saying that necessarily he should have gone through, because if there was another person I thought should have gone through, that person is Quickstyle.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the case, though. I wouldn't have been mad if Michael Grimm made it through. I do think that this was... I didn't want Michael Grimm to win this season. I mean, I didn't want Michael Grimm to win his first season, but I feel like...
Why don't you tell me how you really feel, man?
Well, he was up against Jackie Evanko. I mean, I feel like if it wasn't for like the $1 million, Michael Grimm may not have wanted Michael Grimm to win that season, because I'm sure he's never lived that down. But as a human being, I'm really happy for him. He got to come back, do a really good performance, and maybe... instead of now that just being the only thing people will remember, they'll be like, oh, you know, I saw you in Champions and you were really good. You should have moved on.
The problem is I don't think that is ever what's going to happen for him. I think it's always going to follow him around. And I really hate saying that, because it's not his fault. He didn't do anything wrong.
No.
And he doesn't... like, he just doesn't deserve any of the flack that's coming around him. He is a talented performer. He won, and it sucks for him to be in a position where it's like, oh, I won this thing, but I have to sort of beat myself up about it every day, or feel bad about it, or carry it around like it's an albatross, instead of actually being able to celebrate that he won.
I just hope that he's able to sit back, reflect, and be happy about this performance, and be happy about the chance that after so many years he got to come back and show everyone, hey, by the way, I am really, really talented, in case you forgot or you thought my win was just like some weird thing where Jackie was screwed over. And so good on him for coming back. I mean, the only person we really haven't talked about is Moses. And here's the thing. Moses is fine. It's impressive what he can do. I cannot beatbox while playing the harmonica. I don't think I ever need to see it longer than maybe 30 seconds.
I think the thing for me that I was having a hard time with is just in general with the harmonica, because my father's a harmonica player and he's a very good harmonica player. So when I see anybody else playing the harmonica, even if you're mixing in a beatbox, and that's unique, you have to be better than my dad. And for me, I just didn't see it, and I'm aware that he's my dad, so of course I'm like, oh of course he's great, but he really actually is great. So it was all right. It was good.
It was fine for what it was. I mean, it was fine for what it was. I kind of got it, and then I was just sort of like, okay, I'm done with it. I think there were probably 5 or 6 acts overall that you could make a good case for in terms of, okay, they should have moved on.
Yeah.
I'm all right with the ones that did.
Yep.
We got another show, though. We got another round of 10 performers coming up soon.
Yep.
So I am excited to break those down, and we will be back with that. But let us know in the comments who you liked from tonight's AGT Champions. And if you did like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us by checking the link in the description to the CARTERMATT store. And we'll see you here next time.